where the view looks like the view I used to see. But somehow everything has changed. Everything is gone, and yet remains. I went to the shops and the prices are going up faster than our pay. And yet I'm doing the checkout like I've been demoted as a slave. Everything has changed. Everything is gone, and yet remains. Went to the bank and they greeted me like I was trespassing on their land. I wanted to scream, "You're built on my toil," because my blood was getting ready to boil. But instead my soul whispered to me, oh, somehow everything has changed. Everything is gone, and yet remains. How did we get here? How did we go so wrong? It's like we were singing or trying to sing, but someone keeps changing the song. But I remember when you were there with me, and the world was a child's painting full of trees, and the days were like today, except the days were louder and the laughter longer. And I just want to go there. I just want to go there. How did we reach here, where the view looks like the view I used to see? But somehow everything has changed. Everything is gone, and yet remains.
Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to bring on my partner in crime, Sovereign Citizen Crime.
Hello.
Hello. Your page isn't working again for some reason.
Oh no, computer says no.
Computer says nah. Okay, let's
Nah.
see where else we can do it. I can't believe we're still on YouTube. It just staggers me that we're still there. But anyway, we don't have to do the old introductions. If you don't know who Robin is, then you need to educate yourself. And because she's probably one of the most determined, powerful, articulate podcasters in Australia. And the reason, that's wage isn't working either. I wonder if it's because we we said better. I'll go to Tom's page. And before we start, we have This is from George. Wokieverse Warrior got the blue bee and the alpaca. No idea why an alpaca is on that cap. But the What the Fuck Boys, they've only been going for like 10 years, but they finally got merch. What the fuck?
Yes.
And it also comes in beige. And now our bee has bee free on it. Bee free.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So there's stuff
Absolutely
coming
fantastic.
and other things like that. But tonight we're going to talk about digital ID. And before we start, I have a breaking digital ID story.
Mm.
Australia first. And this comes from a very close friend of ours. They got contacted today. G'day, Drop Bear. They got contacted today to say that their MyGov has been hacked.
Oh dear.
Centrelink called them. Their Centrelink has been hacked. Whoever got in got past the thing because he said they have to send the security numbers to his phone. Somehow they got past that. They've changed his details, his bank accounts. They put on new bank accounts. Gone through everything. This is applied for money to go to that bank account. This is it. So we're going into digital ID, which is gold standard. So no way they could get past it. G'day, Gay Mark. And somehow it's been hacked. And I reckon it wouldn't be just this person. I reckon lots of people have been hacked. It's probably AI.
Yep.
And they're keeping it quiet.
Oh,
because they
Michael,
know.
what you're doing is essentially breaking news right now. This is breaking
Yeah, it is.
news.
MyGov has been hacked.
Tomorrow morning in the news cycle, you'll see, the prostitute media come out and say, "Oh, hoo-ha, what happened, hoo-ha." Breaking news here on Cafe Locked Up. I mean, this is what happens. And, we've just had in Western Australia this morning and yesterday, 2 news stories come out by the prostitute media with Cole Blanche, our police commissioner, about sovereign citizens having their guns removed. And it's not fun and games. I've seen in the comments people prove it. Well, I have friends who have had their houses raided with no warrant, presented with letters that have said you have been deemed an unfit person to have a firearm because of your social media posts about vaccination and immigration, which leads us to believe you hold sovereign citizen ideology. So for anybody that says it's not true, it is. And again, we knew about that before corporate media break it. So breaking news, Michael, you'll see it tomorrow morning, I bet you, about Centrelink.
And they're starting in WA, of course. They'll come everywhere else. But that's what
yeah.
they've done. I've heard that's over 70 houses or 70 individuals have been done. That's what the police commissioner said. I thought I was
there's
watching.
another article that says they've identified over 1,000 sovereign citizens in Western Australia.
1,000.
Over
Here,
1,000.
Leander,
Yes.
my friend of mine got her MyGov hacked 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, MyGov hacked 2 weeks ago. Another one, Ali Prow, had MyGov hacked last week. Hello. What have we uncovered? We were just going to do why we're concerned about digital ID, and it seems MyGov has been hacked. Yeah.
It hasn't happened. It's not real. Your data's safe with the government, Michael, don't you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're the best. And wow. And in England, Planter or something, the company that was supposed to do the digital ID, has pulled out because they realized they won't have any business because the public will hate them forever. And so they're not going to do it. And so they don't have anyone to actually do the digital ID. I think we should do the same here. Find out which company is doing it and going, enjoy your job, because after that, no one is ever going to work with you again. Ever.
Well, I would suspect in the UK, I mean, Palantir's already copped a bit of a browbeating, after Trump was inaugurated and came out with a $500 million deal and all the rest of it with these reprobates from Oracle and SoftBank and the rest of them. So I would suggest that Palantir has gone, well, we're going to put a story out there and say, we're not one of them. We're not one of them. You can trust us. But you don't know what they're doing.
No, we never know what they're doing.
Besides
We're only
what the UK is doing. But
yeah.
the discombobulating thing that Australians are facing right now with the digital ID in Australia, which is under the cover of the under 60 social media ban to protect the kids, is that it's not actually any kind of company that the Australian government is employing their software to verify anybody's age or use age assurance technology. This is the complete lack of detail. Miss Julian Munn Grant, the unelected bureaucrat, she's leaving it up to the big tech platform. So we still don't know what technology they're going to be using. They already have the technology, which I can talk to you about at length later if you like.
Yeah, sure.
But that's one of those things that we don't know. How are they going to do it in Australia? How are they going to do it? We just don't know.
Yeah. Well, someone else just gone on and said their MyGov is hacked as well. So that's 3 now.
Wow.
And from a small audience, that's 3. So that's incredible. Now let's just jump in, guys. Let's have a talk about this because I've told a few podcasters, close podcasters, they say this is what we're doing. Everyone's very excited by it. But Robin, why don't you take the floor with and tell us what your idea was so that people know it's your idea because it's a brilliant idea.
Well, I just felt like, and I've been feeling like, everybody's very unhappy with the prospect of having to prove their age. And, I've just mentioned complete lack of detail. They don't know how they're going to require people to, if they're going to require every single adult to it. They put out these little, breadcrumbs suggesting that if you've had an account for a certain amount of years, they can guess your, all this stuff, but we simply don't know. And, I became quite annoyed that we're all talking about it. We're all saying we're not going to do that. This is bullshit. But we're not doing anything about it. And so, the realm of my work is online. So, can we have a digital protest essentially?
That's
So,
the correct thing.
40-hour famine in the short video that you've done this afternoon on different platforms introducing people to that theme. If you're a member of the younger part of the generation, you might not know what the 40-hour famine is. Back in the day when we all
When
had
we
the
went
global
back.
guilt, the global guilt about everybody starving. In Australia, we do the 40-hour famine. So you starve yourself for 40 hours. The only 2 things you're allowed was water and barley sugar. And you go around to your neighbours and your family with a little book and you get donations and you send it off to save Africa. You remember that? Anyway,
Can
so I
I
thought,
just interject with a very funny story? That'll
yes,
probably get
please.
us kicked off, but you've cancelled us anyway. When I first
Yeah.
came to Melbourne, the first job I got was working in a nursing home. It's like 30 years ago. And on my second shift, I was keyed up with this very large African woman, very large. And I was really interested in where she was from, and a culture and a thing. I'd never really met an African person straight from Africa to talk about it. You know what I mean? And she's going, and she wasn't really talking, and she's going on and on. And so I said, "So, where are you from?" And she went, "Ethiopia." And I just sort of went, "So you got all our donations then?"
Oh my God.
But I didn't say that. That's what I thought in my head. Because she was
You're a
enormous. It
terrible person,
didn't make
Michael.
sense. We'd grown up with, malnutrition. This woman was like Alfred Hitchcock in a dress. It was just, yeah. And we started talking about the famine, and you know what she said? What famine? I went,
Huh.
what? She goes, what famine? She goes, there was some trouble with a drought up in the top, but a lot of money, and this is what she said to me, a lot of money came into the country to a small territory in Ethiopia called Entebbe, I think it was, or one something like that. And she said they used all the money to buy weapons and they took over the country. And that's why she was in Australia, because she was a refugee from that armed conflict.
Wow.
So Bob
Wow.
Geldof, there you go, Bob. Feed the world. Yeah. And she said, and that's what she said. And she didn't owe me anything to say that, didn't go. She just said that's what happened, you know? So
You
yeah.
know, and this is the disgusting nature of
I don't know if that's
these,
true, what she said. I'm just saying that was her lived experience.
yeah. Oh, yeah, and I'm not, disputing that. What I would say is about these, either NGOs or organisations that do work for profit, um, and making people feeling this sense of global guilt,
Mm,
to fund God knows what they've been funding. I mean, you've just given a testimonial from
mhm,
someone from Africa. I mean, you know, these are the campaigns that they use to place the guilt on people to achieve a particular outcome, which is just complete nonsense. And
mm.
everybody, you know, because out of their kindness of their heart and wants to help their fellow human being, gets involved in. You know, so the 40-hour you know, let's use their ideas. You know, they have these wanky think tanks where they sit around for hours. They've come out with a 40-hour famine. Obviously, they've got money for somewhere and sent it somewhere. You know.
What are you famine?
Hmm, I got a cough. Oh my god! I've just swallowed my own. Excuse me. I'm so terribly sorry. But I thought, look, we're all complaining about it. We're all talking about it. It's completely unacceptable, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely unacceptable. And so I thought, you know, 40-hour famine, we already know, and everybody in the audience already knows. I don't have to explain things because, you know, the general public isn't here. We're talking to people who already know that we have platforms which are already censoring
yes.
everyday people, not just
Okay, cool.
podcasters, not just, you know, influencers or whatever, the everyday people. And I did a
Yep.
speech on the weekend at the Walk of Shame about codes and standards that our e-safety commissioner has introduced, which already protects our children, right? There's codes and safety standards already protect them. And so why don't we move away for at least 40 hours and, you know, I'm the first to say that X isn't actually a free speech platform, but you can bet your bottom dollar
Yeah, but it's
that
better
it's
than the
more
rest.
free than Meta, right? So
Yeah.
we're encouraging people to fast from what we would call the mainstream restricted platforms because if you have a look on X at the moment, the big story is that video of the poor lass in America who had come over from Ukraine to seek refuge in
Irina.
America was stabbed. Yep.
Yeah, Irina, yeah.
And the
Horrendous.
e-safety commissioner is demanding that that footage is removed from X, right?
Yeah,
So that footage doesn't exist on Meta platforms, Facebook, Instagram,
yeah.
as I said, people can argue, and I will argue the point that X isn't a free speech platform, but the footage is on X. And if people want to go along to the eSafety Commissioner's webpage, you'll actually find a number of federal court proceedings that are against the Commissioner. There's 6 of them, actually. It's Julie against
Wow.
X and X against Julie. So you know, the thought about the 40-hour famine is, you know, that we encourage people to fast from Meta who are already well up Julie's ass, being fingered all the way up there, censoring content to the big wazoo, taking you out to the back alley and telling you that it's dangerous content, can't watch it, all the rest of it. And let's do something on X and Rumble. And people will say, well, why X and Rumble? I've already said, not a really free speech platform. Well, it's about metrics. And,
Yeah.
Michael, you said we want to get some people from afar across the waters, join us for the
Oh, I
40
know.
hours.
Actually, do you know what? We actually owe the I just want to bring this up. We owe the idea, or see what it is like say the bee free thing. Now I just said we need a symbol, and someone approaches me with the blue bee, and then I had free bee, and then one other member, Chris, in our community. So Melissa Mel came up with the blue bee, the banded bee, and then Chris says, "How about bee free?" And I'm like, "Wow!" So we actually are just formulating ideas here, trying to figure out a way forward. And so you come forward with the 40-hour thing. And I think that's
Mhm.
great. And that's all we had. And then you poach Joel, and Joel goes, "Yeah, but how would we monitor it? And,
Yep.
how would we know? Because we're off air."
Yep.
And that's when I thought, well, we have to stay on air on one. Why not
Mhm.
go on X? Because X is having, especially Elon's having a fight with E. Karen. Now, for those who don't know E. Karen, this is her, 'cause a lot of people don't know her. That's her there. So you might see around. If you see around there, I'll just put it up. So that's E. Karen. And so that's when I thought, and this is where I finally come in. I said, well, why don't we just do it on X and Rumble, and we'll do it in 10-hour slots, and then, but we'll reach out to X to say we're doing it, and then hopefully, Elon gets hold of it. So if he does one share, man, it's all around the world. And what he's saying is we're trying to save his platform in Australia from E. Karen. And
Mhm.
block Emma Pete. And
Well, it's essentially logging off the restricted, right? Facebook and Meta are clearly restricted already. Logging off the restricted and logging on to, the liberated platforms that we still have available, where all the rebels who actually care, all of the people were told to dislike. And perhaps, that's how we can measure it. And essentially, would I think we would achieve anything as an outcome to the I mean, the government, Julie, they're puppets, all the rest of it. But
yeah,
as I started off saying, I'm not willing to wait until the 10th of December and then
no,
everybody turn around and go, "Oh, we can't communicate with each other and we didn't say anything about it."
yeah.
And if we can,
No,
40
this is
hours is a
very
really long
proactive.
time, Michael. We've
Yeah.
done 24 hours, and that was a hard slog, but 40
Yeah, but we're
hours,
not
we
just
get
we're not.
international.
Well, I'm not doing it all. I mean, you'll have to do the 40 hours, but I'm going to do about 4 of them at least. So, just come in and give you
Mhm.
breaks and stuff.
Yep.
Got that meth lab up there near where you live. We'll just get them in, see if they want to do some cross marketing. Just and
Yep.
but actually going back to but the reason being is as the idea developed, and this is why we think it's going to be in November, early November, somewhere in November, because I'll be in Perth, so Rob and I'll be together. And the idea is not only we want podcasters from Australia, anyone who wants to come on for a small slot as a guest, but try to get bigger podcasters. What have we got? Rogan, even if he came on for 10 minutes ago, good on you, Aussies. Tucker Carlson, good on. Even we can get these on just to say, look, we're trying to fight here and get them on. And what I think will also make it work is if we have a lot of fun. I mean, they're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
cancel us anyway. They're going to take us off. So you want free speech? You want to censor free speech? Well, we'll give you something to censor, And I think that's what we do. We just be larrikins for 40 hours. We may let
Mhm.
people see that the larrikin spirit is not dead. We might be getting crushed. And what I really hope for is that this lovely young woman, Karen, just sends loads of stuff to X saying, take it down, take it down, take it down. And I hope they don't. And so there's a lot of positives in it. And it might not win the war, but it's the first shot across the bow.
Well, and
That's
the
what I
other
think is
thing,
great.
Michael, it's a really good opportunity to help people figure things out because we had a really great after you did the video today, the live video telling people about it, we had Kathleen and she said, can you please talk about solutions, alternatives to Google, email, platform alternatives, practical tips. People really want to know how do we navigate being able to remain online, being able to communicate with people, being able to source information without having to use Google, Microsoft, and the platforms that want to require our data from us. So I think it's really important that we source those guests. I mean, I've got a number of people top of mind, Miss Jean-Pierre, in mind already, but I think it's a really good opportunity to help people say, all right, we don't want to do that. So what do we do instead? And we have
Yeah.
we have people on there talking about that as well. Because there's a desert of information about
Yeah.
how we get around Miss Julie and Mount Grant at the moment
Yeah.
as well. A real
Yeah.
desert.
Agreed. Agreed. I
Mhm.
actually think the next level up I'd be pushing for is a general strike. Is that, and you're not going to have everyone do it, but
No.
we don't call it a strike. What we call it is a COVID day off. You just tell your boss, I've got COVID. I've got the new strain of COVID. What are they going to do? You know, and basically that's it. It's time to arc up. I heard today, not from me, I haven't done it, but I heard today that there are young people cutting down cameras around Australia. We just haven't heard from them.
Oh,
They're
like
not.
the Blade Runners. The Blade
Yeah, but
Runners.
they've been. They're either the prostitutes aren't letting it out there because they know if it gets out there, it'll everyone will join in, or
Mhm.
something like that. But that's what I heard today. And this person said, yeah, they got a small group. They got a little group that they post to, and so I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, so that's interesting. That and
Well,
that's I just want to say if you're listening, I think it's terrible that you're cutting down those cameras, all our
terrible.
taxpayers' money, because they're keeping us safe. I think it's
Mhm.
terrible that these young men are taking them down. So I'm no way participating. I just thought I'd let you know that it's happening, and I'm disgusted.
Don't destroy property that isn't yours. By the way,
No,
everybody, if you own something, go right ahead. But
yeah.
don't destroy property that doesn't
Who
belong to
buys the
you.
cameras? Taxpayers' money. So they're ours, aren't they? Is that right? They're ours, like all of ours. We all own them,
Yeah, yeah,
technically.
guess so.
Technically, yeah.
I guess so.
Oh,
I
except
guess
she
so.
doesn't own them because she's American, right? So she's not
Yes,
really a citizen. Yeah,
Julie.
so they're ours, you know. And
Julie's
anyway, look, they're probably not cutting them down. They're probably just trying to creatively give them a different viewpoint,
yep. Mhm.
of
Yep.
the earth.
Move them around. Move them around, everybody. Yes. Yes.
But
Absolutely.
you know what the amazing thing about them though is people just go, oh yeah, look, cameras everywhere, and everyone just takes it in their stride. But you don't realize you're changing your behavior because of the cameras. But there's no way they've got that many humans monitoring you. This is AI monitoring you. So you're already changing your behavior to placate AI. And in that sort of
No.
situation, who's the master?
Well, and that's right. I was walking past Coles one day in a mall, and I saw this lady walk through the self-checkout thing with a trolley full of stuff, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What? what's going on? Anyway, so the security guards with the high vis who have this, self-appointed sense of authority because of the high vis. I said, hello? It's, oh yeah, yeah. I said, well, aren't you gonna? Oh no, no, no. I said, well, what are you paid for? Why are you standing here? Oh well, the cameras will get it. And I looked around. I said, the cameras will get it. She said, yeah, yeah, they'll have it back up there, and we've got profiles of people, and the cameras will get it. Don't worry. I said, can you tell me how many people have actually been caught, taken to court, charged with stealing from your shop as a result of using these cameras and you just standing here? Oh, not many. And she said that, oh, not many. I just looked at her and I thought, this isn't about catching criminals. This is about making the mass comply, right?
It's like a
This is
little whip.
about,
It's like
yeah,
a little moral whip. Camera's watching you, you know? Yeah.
exactly. So that they don't care about stock control. They don't care about losing money. I mean, we all know these multinational companies make, however millions or billions of dollars, when they're all under the one. But I mean, let's not forget that they're all owned by the same people. They don't care that people are stealing it. They just want to implement these things that everybody looks around and goes, "I got a camera, I got to watch my behaviour." Meanwhile, the criminals couldn't give two shits, and they still walk out with what they want.
Yeah.
And I think, ultimately, when we're talking about digital ID, this incremental walk towards complete enslavement, involves what I've just talked about, this AI mass surveillance that we have when we want to go and buy 2 bananas, a lettuce, and some milk and a loaf of bread. They're acclimatizing people to it, and it's completely unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. They're depending on people's ability to adapt. And people are
Hmm.
just adapting and adapting. And what they haven't realized is, well, you don't have to adapt. You are the customer. I went into a bank recently because I'd lost my wallet again. And I went in and I, I tried not to be too rude, but it was impossible not to because, like in that song says, they treat you like you're walking on trespassing
Yeah.
onto private property. They're like, yes,
Well,
and they're so rude. And yet the only reason they exist is because of our money.
mhm. Yep. It's about, and also about making people feel like they're a criminal before they've actually committed a crime. I mean, when did you ever give consent to Woolworths and Coles to film you as soon as
Mm,
you walk into the shop?
mm.
We've already had, businesses like Bunnings and Kmart, it's against, human rights to use facial recognition. They just put that in the media so that, they acclimatize people to it. We've just had
So we're
Miss
being trained.
Pickleball. Joanne's just said, "It isn't a joke. Take whatever you want, just keep it under $800." I mean, how many times have we seen in the US, they don't do anything when people are, pilfering from stores and all the
No.
rest of it. So, further down the line, and this is the real grey area that Australians are missing, is that, they'll put these things in the media about facial recognition in Australian stores, and then on the other end, if you are on X and, if it feeds the videos to you, seeing how people in China actually go about their daily life, showing their phones here and there, being classed as a good citizen. I mean, this is the garden path that we're being walked down, Michael,
Mhm.
and this is I've been having a conversation with Dr. Malik in the UK. Will it be the UK or will it be Australia the first to fall to digital ID? I mean, Starmer's, hamming it up about you won't be able to work, but I still have my bets on Australia that we will
Yeah,
be
we will be.
the
It'll be us
first to
because
fall to digital ID.
the English are arcing up. The English are
Yeah.
fighting. The English are going, no way. There's something in Australia. And you've got to remember, in COVID time, the English, a lot of the nurses refused to get mandated. So they weren't mandated
Yeah.
because they arced up. And then they got rid of, they had more marches and stuff, and they got rid of the digital passport. The COVID passport, it didn't work because the English shut it down. We're over here, we're just so compliant. It's incredible. It's just staggering, and you're just going, oh, they'll wake up one day, or they'll do something one day, something will stir them up, and you think, what? And they go, oh, they got to
I
starve, and I don't know. I don't know.
I think the propaganda machine is doing a really good job. I mean, you have to. I mean, we've seen it through the previous federal election with the Labor Party. We're still seeing it now with the demise,
Yeah,
quote
I know.
unquote, of the Liberal Party. And the nefarious, disgusting creatures who don't show their faces have invested heavily in the Labor Party in Australia. And so they've got to maintain this, not only so-called two-party system, which we know it's the same as, but they've got to maintain the reach and the manipulative power that the Greens have on the public. And unfortunately, they've been weaponized over a number of years now to infiltrate our youth's minds. And, they've just gone through university, they're in their early 20s. These people really have, I mean, I think we've been asleep at the wheel, to be honest. And
It's
um,
called the She'll Be Right era. That's what we grew up in. I mean, one of the
mm,
reasons I left Perth was it just used to drive me crazy. It was so hard to
mm,
find people you could actually have a proper conversation with.
mm,
That this was 30 years ago. They liked talking about home renovations, trips to Bali, the footy, and how to
mm,
marry a farmer's a farmer or something. And that was about it. If you wanted to talk philosophy or anything else like that, forget it.
mm,
And I'm not saying they're all like that. You would find exceptions, but for the majority, it was just this. There was the conversations you could live within there, just so you could stay within the social norm. And I just found the place very lonely, and then you get them
yeah.
drunk. You get these, especially men, you get them drunk. Then they'd start talking about the stars and all these other things and wondering about life. But as soon as they sobered up, they went straight back into their little jail cell,
Mhm,
you know?
mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
Used
I
to
think we
stagger me.
still have that. I mean, just to get back to the digital ID, when I did the walk of shame this weekend, it's a wonderful group of people that walk through the city of Perth, loudspeaker, microphone up the main strips of the city, talking about a range of issues. And I've been along a few times to talk about digital ID and the underage, under 16-year-old social media ban, but this time I actually took it back further, to hopefully talk to the mums and dads, the nanas and grandpas that are legitimately concerned about protecting their children from harmful content online, because that's what they're seeing through corporate media, right? That's the story that they're told. So my speech on the weekend was, okay, let's say it is about protecting children. Julian Margran, our e-safety commissioner, has introduced industry codes and standards which already protect children and adults online from harmful content. I mean, we have phase one, class 1A and class 1B standards, which already require platforms to report content to the e-safety commissioner. We already have all of these things in place. We have new standards that are going to come in Australia in December. It's called Phase 2. They're Class 1 and Class 2 materials. It's about self-harm, suicide, porn, which isn't covered under the under 6-year-old social media ban, violent content, all these sorts of things. So we already have these industry guidelines and standards which protect children and adults from harmful content. We've already seen it as we started the show with Julie demanding that content be removed. We've seen the court cases through with Celine against the machine, Billboard Chris, so on and so forth. I mean, it's already there in place to remove harmful content, even though, Channel 9 News will show you something, much more egregious that's happening in some war-torn state in somewhere other part of the world. So I took that speech back to appeal to the nanas and grandpas and say, hey, we've already got these community guidelines, standards, codes, all the rest of it in place by the E-Commissioner that protect our children. Please think about what the under 16-year-old social media ban is when you yourself have to verify your age when you log on to a social media platform, Google or Microsoft. I mean, that's where we are, is we have to take a step back, because even the codes and standards corporate media aren't telling everybody about. They're just putting up the talking points and saying we have to ban it for all the kids because it's going to protect them. But we already have it there. It's already working. You and I are removed every day online because what we say is inappropriate, harmful, offensive, needs to be censored.
That's right.
Let
We got
alone anything
we
that
got
isn't.
we got censored the other day because they said we're selling ornaments. They're selling bullets, because I did that Charlie Kirk post where I said,
That's right.
you're going to need more bullets, and the algorithms decided I was trying to pitch selling bullets, and so we 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 got another ban. And it's just it's yeah. The thing is, I was talking to Brady Gunn today, and he said the major thing is it's going to cost an awful lot of money. You're going to need a huge government department to run it. But what problem does it fix? As you just said, Robin, they've got all the tools they need. It
Yeah.
fixes no problem. We got $1 trillion worth of debt. And now here we are, we're going to get even more debt and more bureaucracy. That's
Mm.
what we're going to get, as well as our freedoms are being impeached. And if you don't think that they're going to shut you down, I mean, look what's happening in Perth at the moment. They're monitoring 1,000 people they suspect for being sovereign citizens in WA,
Mhm.
and so
Yep.
they're monitoring us. They're monitoring us. Probably AI is monitoring them already. So they're monitoring, getting them all ready to go, and now they've gone out and done it. And who knows? I'd love to see what the posts are that's going to make them sovereign citizens. Is it sharing, say, that interview I did with those people, that interview where I said, I am not your sovereign citizen? I mean, is this what it's going to be? I mean, here it is. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it doesn't exist, sovereign and citizen. They seem to have gone, anti-vaxxer isn't working anymore. They're proud of being anti-vaxxers. So let's up the game. So you notice they're
Yep.
not mentioning anti-vaxxers anymore. It's sort of because so many of us are, that now it's becoming like a cool word, So now they've gone to sovereign citizen, which
Mhm.
also sounds kind of cool. You know what I mean? And so this is what they're doing: spreading hate, spreading division, getting a small cast together that are the dirty Jews of our time, and there they are. You don't want to join them, and it's all about control. This is a
Mhm.
government that doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to debate. It just wants to smother and control. This is what we're up against.
Absolutely. And we've seen, we can see already with the UK, I mean, they're openly saying digital ID, and then they put it under the veil of protecting the
Okay.
country, against all the immigrants coming in. We've got Kash Patel in the US talking about the
I
clickbait on
know.
social media. I mean, what was it? 6 months ago, we had Miss Hillary Clinton up there saying, there's a threat to democracy because of social media and we need to get them off and all these sorts of things. It's right through the Five Eyes Nations, and it's not very often that Australia will make international headlines. Will somehow be included in something. I mean, Western Australia did hit international headlines when we had the COVID report come out, and it was a bit of a mystery that when they introduced the jabs, the COVID rate went up, and so did the death
You
rate. But
had
anyway,
no
don't talk
COVID.
about that. Forget about it.
You had no COVID before the jabs.
Exactly.
Your borders
So
were
I think
closed. You had no
yeah,
COVID. You
yeah,
only got the COVID after you started vaccinating.
yeah,
Then you got COVID
and people started dying.
after you
Yeah,
started vaccinating, and then people
yeah,
started dying
mhm,
after you
yep,
started vaccinating. They didn't
that's
die
right.
before.
So I think, if we
I'm
can,
not laughing at people dying, but it's
no,
like
it's nuts.
how naked does the emperor got to be? He might as well be standing there in his bones. How naked?
Mhm,
Like last night, it was a big thing. I didn't get a chance to do it last night. Do it yourself, guys. Figure out 1,000 a minute. If they were producing 1,000 vials of this vaccine a minute, how long would it take them? Use Grok. How long would it take them to make 10 billion? Because they gave 5 billion, they gave 2 doses, so 10 billion. How long? Last night, Grok said 19 years. So even if Grok's wrong by double, so say it's 8 years, basically they had to create the vaccine years before the virus,
mhm,
and then store pilot somewhere and continue to make it years before we'd even heard of the virus. I mean,
mhm,
this is the truth, guys. It's just not physically possible. They couldn't have pumped out 10 million or even 5 billion in the 1 year whilst doing the test, while doing everything else. Couldn't do it. It's
mhm,
not actually possible. Been
yep.
lied to, you know.
You
And
know
yeah,
what?
the only ones who get in trouble are the ones that point that out. So this is
You
where
know
we
what's
live
really
now in a
gross?
world of lies. We just
Oh,
live
yeah.
in a world of lies. We don't know what's the truth. We've seen in Mexico now, you can go to jail for 6 years for posting a meme that puts down the government. They've brought in
Yep,
6 years in a Mexican jail. Can you
yep.
imagine a Mexican jail for 6 years just for posting Albo, in one of his queer costumes? You know, you'd want to make the meme worth it, wouldn't you? This is going to cost me 6 years of my life, so I want this meme to hit home. So, you know, yeah.
Well, Michael, we've just had, overnight the Mississippi in America, right, has declared a public health emergency over its infant mortality rate. And, if you go on and, read a little bit more about it, it's actually more disturbing because it's actually black infants that
Oh my
it's already a
God.
high rate, right? 9.7 deaths per 1,000 live births, and of those 9.7 infant births, it's predominantly black children, right? I just interviewed a gentleman that worked for the Californian Department of Health. He's a whistleblower, and his job was to um, collate information and disseminate it to the public of California during the COVID war, and inform them about how to protect themselves, all these sorts of things. And he started to see, this is all bullshit, right? So he reported up to the higher ups, and they wanted to ignore him. And then he got information about the overwhelming data that showed that certainly in California where he was getting the data, that Black Americans were being affected predominantly over all other people in California. And I went on to tell him a story about one of my lecturers at university in the year 2000 or whatever it was. She used to work for the Japanese Defense Army, and she openly told us that they were working on vaccines that targeted particular races, right? And so this is where we're at. I mean, literally last night we had a report from Mississippi that, they have a public health emergency with 9.7 infant deaths per 1,000 live births, and predominantly it's Black children. I mean, this is where we're at.
Oh,
And,
God.
they don't want us saying this, Michael.
Well,
They
that's
don't
why
want us
that's why
saying
they
these
want
things.
this. They don't want these facts getting out. They
Mhm.
just want you, Australia, to be Julie Anthony running up onto the mountain singing "The Hills Are Alive" with the sound of music, and they want you to live there, and they
Mhm.
want to protect you. That's where they want you to live, and that everything's fine around you. This is, the fact that we have this lovely young woman here deciding the weird adults what we need to see is just
Mhm.
like F off. You know what I mean? It's yeah. But anyway, apart from all that, let's get back to what we do. But actually, before we do, I want to do something different today because I saw this. Oh, another thing too. Look at this. Hussein Bolt can't go up
Yeah.
the stairs now without being breathless. He's fully jabbed. So he's gone from being the fastest man in the world, and now his heart is so bad he has trouble getting upstairs. Now, there's no way he could have been the fastest man in the world with a dodgy heart. So this is
No.
where it is. But I'm just going to play this as just a little bit of comic relief because this happens over 2 minutes. So we're just going to watch 30 seconds of this. So I found this today. Oops, 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 oops. Wait, it gets better. It gets better. And oops. And we'll come back to them in a bit to see their troubles. And I thought we'd pace it out. So, but anyway, so here we are. We know it's for control. It's not bullshit. They want to control us. They want to know what you're doing every minute of the day. And they get hacked, they don't care. If you get
Mhm.
all your money stolen, they just want to control you completely. You fart, they
That's
want to
right.
know about it. You know what I mean? This is where we are. And that is what our generation, that's the gift we're going to hand to the next generation. Complete
Mhm.
enslavement. By then, they'll probably have a social credit score thing in place. It'll just happen. They might not even have to say we've got a social credit score system. It'll just happen. You
Mhm.
suddenly, hey Lisa, how many days in jail now? It'll just happen,
Mhm.
and they'll do things like suddenly you won't be able to get some service or something small like that. They'll make your life harder and harder and harder if you dare to be what we are. I mean, I don't know if there's a rung low enough for our social credit score if they do finally bring it in, Robin.
Michael, you know what I'm thinking? You know, I know people are gonna say in the comments and leading up to the 40-hour famine, and say, "What is this gonna do?" Nice,
Okay, let's talk about
fine,
that. Let's talk
legitimate
about the goals.
questions, but sure as shit, sure as shit, I ain't going to witness witness the demise of an outlet of free speech without saying something about it. So what
Yeah.
is it going to achieve? We've got a mission statement. We've got some goals we want to achieve. Whether or not, it impacts the puppets that we have in that place there in Canberra and the unelected
Yep.
Miss Julian Marn Grant being kind was going to say something else. I don't know, but I sure as shit am not going to just go along and not say anything. I mean, we are defenders of free speech, Michael, and I'm not just gonna go,
Oh, I
"Okay,
love
thanks,
you. I
Julie.
love you.
See
I
ya."
love you. I just want to say, Lisa, thanks. I don't know how she keeps tabs of it. Lisa, 3,169 days. That's how long we've got to go before I can like your kitty cat videos. And but yeah, let's talk about what we can achieve. I saw a great meme the other day, and it was somebody famous, I can't remember who. They said sometimes you can do something and will achieve nothing. But if you do nothing, you're guaranteed it will achieve nothing. If you do
Yes.
something, then there's a chance. And so
Yep.
to me, we got to go out fighting. And I think
Mhm.
this is unique. Now that what
Mhm.
we're going to do here is not to try wake up Australians because
No.
good luck. It's basically they can watch if they want. We want to embrace the rest of the world. We want the
Mhm.
world, and the 24 hours might do it, but 40 hours they will hear about it. You hear what's happening in Australia? They've had some major people come on. They've got all these Australians coming on. If you're a bit of a larrikin, get yourself ready and come on. We could do 10, 5, 15-minute slots, and basically the rest of the world could be going, look at these Aussies, look at them, and they can share it and do it from like this. So we're basically going to let the world know that we don't want this. We're publicly revealing ourselves to the rest of the world. I know you all
Mhm.
think we sleep and give in to tyranny. No, here we are, we're fighting. Now, the other benefit is if they shut us down, that's newsworthy too. We send that
Mm.
everywhere. That's newsworthy. And
Mhm.
and the other thing too is Elon can embarrass the Zuck because he can go, hey man, they're not banning my side. So there's things, but we start a conversation, and
Yep.
and I think if we have fun doing it, where people around the world are going, wow, these are the Aussies I remember, then it's like an ad to the rest of the world that
Mm.
the larrikin spirit in Australia is the defiant larrikin is still here. And
Mhm.
this is the time to rise up. It's time to rise up just so you guys can take the piss. Because that's one of the things
Mhm.
they've been taking away from you. You might offend someone, you can't take the piss. We're taking the
Yeah.
piss is one of the things that keeps us healthy because we can
Mhm.
endure everything because we can turn anything into a gag. You know what I mean? Or just find the humor in everything, which is it's not so much a gag, but we find the humor in everything. I mean, that's how many times you've been to a funeral and you expect to be really sad, and then the speakers get up, and then suddenly somebody has everybody laughing because they're remembering. G'day, Christian. They're remembering the humor of the person's life. I did that at a suicide of a young man. I thought it was going to be dreadfully, dreadfully sad, and then some people brought up, all the silly things he used to do and the funny, and everybody was laughing. It was really quite beautiful, because this is who he was. It's tragic that we've lost, but I thought this is an admirable quality of us. We have an
Mhm.
ability to take the piss, but it's not putting people down. The humor is
Mhm.
sort of saying, I love you because this is how you are. You know what I mean? It's so, yeah, I think it's a
So
defiant fight. I love it.
we've
Yeah.
we've just got Marie here, and I'll just reiterate
Hey, Marie.
the thought behind it. Only X and Rumble, Facebook question. And I'll say it very quickly again. We can already clearly see, particularly because we stream, the Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, uh, have been for a long time actually, not just recently, censoring our content.
Yeah.
And we know I didn't say this before, Michael. We know explicitly through the FOI that you did about Cafe Lockdown that we've seen this, that through that FOI, the requirements from the e-commissioner to remove content, we've been able to see that Facebook and Instagram, which is Meta, has instantly gone, okay, Julie, yes, we'll remove it now. Okay, yes, we'll send them a message and say that's inappropriate. And what we've also been able to see through these FOIs is that X has on a number of occasions in regards to Cafe Locked-Out's content. Now, that could be any streamer under the Cafe Locked-Out umbrella. X has repeatedly, and we can show this through the FOI, has repeatedly said, no, show us something else. Why do we need to do that? No, we're not going to do that. Julie will keep saying, you need to do this, but X will repeatedly say, no, not going to do it. No, not going to do it. And as I said at the start of the show, you can go along to the Commissioner's webpage and see the 6 federal court proceedings against X. So why is it Meta that we want people we're not going to be streaming to? Because they comply at the slightest whiff of upsetness and discombobulation from Julie, Meta comply. So that is my answer. Marie, and for anybody else that just joined us.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, let's be honest, Facebook is literally, I mean, it's ours now. You know, the young aren't on there. It's becoming a nursing home. 10 years from now, the only thing we'll be sharing is our bingo numbers. So, and pictures of our soup. And so basically, we have to make a stand. See, if we have on nowhere, we can't monitor it. Rob and I'll be going, yeah, everyone's off for 40 hours. And no offense, but you guys will all be on. Where if we can be entertaining on X, we can divide and conquer, piss them off. But we need to be there where we're seeing someone. And Rumble has never, even though our numbers aren't great with Rumble, Rumble has never censored us, despite all the pressure.
Rumble censored me, Michael. Rumble censored me, but we won't talk about that.
Bad as you. You're bad.
We won't talk about that.
Actually, no, they did once. They remarkably, they did once over, I can't remember what it was. It was something, I think it was when, who's that Spanish tennis player? Nadal.
No.
Nadal. Nadal came out and sort of had an injury, as if to say could have been from the vax, and they threatened to take my whole page down, and that was it. And I thought, but I just copied a news item, wasn't even making it up. Anyway, but getting past that, I think it's to monitor it. So if we can go there, we can get a lot of people on X. Like the last time we did the Cafe Lockdown, at the end of the 24 hours, we were 20,000 live people watching the last few hours. We had 20,000 live. So this time after 40 hours, it's to aim for more than that. I know when the Freedom Train did the 24-hour one, they ended up with 40,000. So they doubled it. So now it's to actually spread the word, and everyone can be a part of it. Spread the word, spread the thing, get it out there. I doubt. Now, I loved Closed Social. Hey, Valerie, Closed Social is moving to another. I'll come back to Closed Social there. So basically, it's 40 hours, and it's just to see whether we can pull it off, just to see what can happen. It's going to be completely live. So we have no idea what's going to happen. You're going to get people on there. It's going to be wild and wickedly fun, but at the same time a great protest. So we can get great numbers, and we'll get some, I think, and share ideas, guys. CafeLockedout.com. If you have any, CafeLockedout@gmail.com. If you have any ideas, we'll send them through to Robin. Maybe at some point we might even set up an ideas thing. Page. Let's get ideas of what we can do, how we can do it. There's no way Robin and I can do all the 40 hours, so it's going to be split up between it, and we'll have others coming on too. I know Jason Olborn, he's mad about the idea, so he'll be coming on. Johnny Lada just went, absolutely, I'm there. So the others will be coming on, and we'll reach out to people like the White Rabbit and a lot of the new podcasters, and see if there is. So spread it out to other podcasters. Here we go. This is it. It's just, and I think it's just, we've got to be innovative. We've got to be fun.
There's one for you, Pam.
Go.
No. Pam was saying you need the shit stirrer spoons. I'm ready.
Yeah, the shit stirrer spoons. I don't have one here. There's the shit stirrer spoons. This is where it is. It's selling the world that we are the movement. So I mean, most of the people, a lot of people aren't on X, so it'll get more people towards X.
And ultimately, Michael, I think it's a really good opportunity to really poke. I mean, this whole. I've been covering, Minister for Communications, Miss Annika Wells, completely missing in action. I've been covering the fact that, our e-safety commissioner, Miss Julian Munn-Grant, has just a complete lack of details. And this is an opportunity. This is a real opportunity to not only help educate people, as we had Kathleen asking, can you tell us about alternatives we can use, so on and so forth. It's a really good opportunity, and this is the part that I'm really excited about, is to poke holes in this so-called program that is going to protect our children of Australia, which the government cares so much about, crime rates through the roof in Victoria, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. This is a real opportunity to poke holes in this effort to protect Australia when
That's
we
all right.
know it's not, and we can poke the holes through it with a shit stirrer spoon as well. I'll be, poking them hard.
Yes.
It's an opportunity to do a lot of things.
Jane Maz, will you be recording from? We'll probably be in Perth. We're going to be heading to Perth soon. We're just trying to get all this structure down under Cafe Lockdown. I mean, we started Cafe Lockdown organically. When I met Robin, it was just me then. And it was when I met Robin, I said, you want to, Robin was really the start of the community. Suddenly we had 2 people doing it. It was amazing. And then the community's gone from then and gone from there. And so now we're trying to get some infrastructure underneath it, trying to get the merch properly done and other things, which this week that'll come out. And so to do that, I'll have to be in Perth. That's be probably November, and this is going to happen in the next month or so. But it gives us time to contact X, gives us time to contact all the podcasters we can think of, any celebrities we can think of. There's so many. There's even people who are originally against us, podcasters who might actually go, they want to come on. So it could actually have people on who have actually generally been against us, who we don't meet. That could happen too. So because they're invested as well. Most people don't want digital AI. I know I was talking to Shrillex, I think he's an English podcaster. I've been trying to do an interview with him in the morning about England, and he said the digital ID, the marches are full of woke people and rednecks, Muslims. He said everyone's coming together. Nobody wants it. And because they realize what it is, it's imprisonment, not just of our generation, but the generations to come, and anyone who still trusts the government now, I mean, well, I know. Yeah, it will be on Rumble as well. Now, what we learned from the 24-hour thing, because we recorded 24 hours, what we didn't realize is the platforms don't record 24 hours, they record 10. So we've only got 10 hours recorded of that 24 hours that we did. And so all the last bit was lost, which unfortunately. So what we've learned now is that we'll have 10-hour slots or maybe 9-hour slots to be safe. And then coming up to the last big gig. I like the fun of it because of the challenge. Can we actually pull it off? We'll let you know, Jane. I like the talent from it. Can we pull it off? And then who can we get on? And then just the extraordinary moments that could happen. I mean, it literally could be extraordinary. And the last time we did it, that inspired the Freedom Train to do their international 24-hour one. So who knows what could happen now? Could start a wildfire. And this is all coming from Australia. Innovative ways to protest. If you want to start writing songs for it now, there's a lot of people are sending in songs now. A lot of people haven't done songs before with AI and stuff, protest songs. Send in your songs, send in stuff like that. We're going to have 40 hours of content. You know what I mean? There's like Hey It's Saturday used to do. Not the Hey. Remember the telethons at like 3 a.m. You'd stay up because at 3 a.m. they bring the strippers on.
Yes.
And so
Fat Cat.
Yeah.
So, Fat Cat and Humphrey BB. No, but also Michael, because
oh my God, I have the best
Humphrey Bear story ever.
Oh, well, first off, I swear, just as a little break. Actually, before we do, let's just see how the truck's doing. Oh, that's not good. That's not good, guys. Yeah, just stay calm and reverse, guys. No, that's not good.
Oh my God, what are they driving over? Oh, dear.
That's okay. No, that's probably the wrong way. And just stop. Okay, we'll come back. I'm sure they'll sort it out. There's so I was in room service, right? And Fat Cat was staying in the place. And so I got to see the guy that was in Fat Cat. And the guy that was in Fat Cat was boning Patsy Biscuit. They were a couple. Yeah. And I walked into their room and they looked really sheepish. They had all these joints on the table. And I thought, that's how he can put up with all the kids pouring at him. That's how he does it. All these kids pouring because he's just off his face. He's like, yeah, whatever. This is the thing. But the best story ever. This is real. This was told to me by a mate. This mate was working on the entertainment centre in WA when it was first being built. You know, the big one where they used to have
Yep.
the ballets? It's near the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And he's working at the top, and he'd left something in his ute, and he looked downstairs, and the ute was down there. So he'd either have to go all the way back to the lifts, go down and get it, or he could race down the pitch black fire escape, right? So he thought, screw it, big strong man. So he goes charging down, but he said it was so dark that he was literally running down, boom, grabbing the thing, boom, grabbing the thing. And then he ran into something huge and hairy that wrapped its arms around him because he hit it so hard. And he screamed like he's never screamed in his life. And then Humphrey Bear patted him on the head because Humphrey Bear was just about to go into a kids' concert. He'd run into Humphrey Bear. And he never broke character. He didn't speak. He just patted this. That's a true story. Yeah. Anyway, that's just part of past. The thing is, it's time to have fun because humor is a gift from the gods to get us through everything. That's why they've been trying to curtail the humor. That's why they were sending a list to stand-up comedians. Remember, this was a few years ago. All the things you couldn't joke about if you went to a university. Stand-up comedians are going, what are you talking about? You can't talk about anything. This is what they're trying to do. Katie Hopkins in England is threatened to go to jail for calling herself a spaz.
Yeah.
I mean, calling herself one, you know? So this is how vital it is, because defending free speech isn't defending the speech you like. It's defending the speech you don't like, you know?
Even self-deprecation is a crime, right?
Yeah.
Self-deprecation in the UK is a crime.
Yourself. Isn't it somewhere? Where did I see it? I think it was in Australia. Was it Australia or Canada? I saw it today. Someone has been charged with mispronouncing someone. Mrs. You know what's it called when they get their pronouns wrong?
Misgendering
someone
someone.
a he instead of a they, and
we had that in WA. We had a teacher
was that in WA where it was, and he's had first he apologized, then he did a written apology, and they're still in trouble. Is that in WA?
Oh, well, that's been in the newspaper, and it's not isolated. Obviously I talk to a lot of people, and I used to work for the education department. It's not isolated. I know people that are currently not allowed to work because they've been reprimanded for using the wrong language and having the wrong thoughts, Michael.
The wrong thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. I mean, what? I've forgotten the fella's name now. In Ireland, the teacher
I've been trying to reach out to him or reach out to his family. I wish they'd do an interview. The one,
his
the
brother.
teacher.
His brother's a university student. He stood up and wanted to ask a question to the person who's running, the lady who's running to be prime minister or president. I'm not quite sure which one they have. And he was escorted out by police.
Yes, that's right. And she wouldn't answer. She just condescendingly looked at him. She would not answer his question. I might actually have that. And he was going, I can't ask a question. Yeah. Yeah, it's
only ask the right
absolutely got the
questions.
point. And what it is, this is the truth. What it is, they're trying to get us to accept this new morality, you know?
Yes.
Man can give birth, all this other stuff. You know, you got all these different genders, but you don't know right from wrong, all that stuff. But it's all built on lies. And that's why they won't debate, because they can't debate, because they're not standing on anything. And so they have to be condescending, and they have to silence us in order to maintain that. And that's what Klaus Schwab, he actually used to say in his training camps for the global elite, don't debate. Do not debate them. Don't debate. Because they know what they're trying to produce is bullshit. This is it. Try to think of a time, maybe on Piers Morgan you have it, but even then, you see how pathetic they are. They don't stand a chance. Someone said to me the other day, or said to Kelly, they're saying, oh, Charlie Kirk, he's a terrible, he's always spreading hate. And you're thinking, well, can you show me the videos where he's spreading hate? Because I've watched numerous videos. I haven't seen him do that once. In fact, I've seen him offering a mic to people who are spraying hate at him, and he just
Mhm.
says they're quite nobly and just tries to reach them. And so I heard from Lindsay, the psychologist. He said there's reports now coming from America of people scouring every video that Charlie Kirk has made or put out to find the part where he spruiks hate. And what he's
Okay.
done is won them over. They've actually been
Oh,
de-brainwashed because the more they watch him, they can't not see that this guy was not doing it. He was just
interesting.
spreading discourse, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's hard. It's hard to stand there when people are hating you and stay
Mhm.
calm and just reply. I wish I could do it. I'm trying, but I kind of lose my
Well,
cool a bit.
it's like on the weekend when we did the walk of shame. We
That's
had
right.
a small piece, kind of commemoration memorial for, I don't know, honor song for Charlie, and played the song that they played in America. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it was bagpipes, so on and so forth. And we had some core flute signs, and people were holding up the core flute signs of Charlie and his wife, and the backside of their children. And instantly, I mean, we'd been there for at least an hour. Going from Forest Chase up to where we were standing, so on and so forth. And just instantly there was this whole, like, flood of, like, the birds, and it was young people, it was middle-aged women, and it was just such a trigger for everybody and, they're pointing and they're waving the birds, and you can go along to Max Freedom and watch the footage. But it was just astounding, and I just thought,
I tried to find the footage. It's not on his Instagram. I wonder if he's put it up yet.
oh, it's on, X
All right.
and
Keep going. I'll look for
Facebook.
it.
But it was just astounding that, we'd had a speaker there previously speaking for 20 minutes about, the farmers, digital ID, so on and so forth. And, I'm there handing out the light and talking to people and all these sorts of things. And as soon as the signs went up for Charlie and the song went on, and, it was just like this social contagion that overtook everybody, and all these flying birds came out across the crowd. And I just thought, do people actually hold these opinions, or are they just being told what to think? Because it was just so dramatic, And I mean, you started off the show saying the word um, unvaxxed or anti-vaxxed isn't cool anymore, right? That
No,
doesn't
yeah, it
hold the
isn't bad. It
power
isn't bad
anymore.
enough anymore. No, we've sort of
Yeah.
yeah.
And I just saw it instantly, and it was just like birds everywhere, everyone being awful, people shouting, young people, old people, middle-aged people. And I'm just thinking, is this one of the symptoms of corporate media, and the dangers of social media that everybody keeps warning us about? Julie, it was just
Yeah.
astounding.
That is astounding. I think I found it. So we'll just share some of this. Let's get it up there. Here it is. So I'll just make it bigger. So it becomes a double thing. Watch.
We've got young kids there putting their fingers up. I'm just doing the Queen wave. Where people come right up to the camera, give us the finger, all sorts. Yes, that's right, Trish.
Oh, that's you. Hopefully it
Yeah,
turns around now.
there's people standing behind Richie doing
Yeah.
a middle finger dance.
Oh wow, yeah,
that's
you got
right.
it then.
Yeah, it was everywhere. That's the best of it. Poor Richie was trying to cope with multiple cameras in his hands. But
there was hundreds of thousands.
Instantly.
Incredible. The only way they can hate Charlie Kirk is they've been taught to hate him. They actually haven't gone and looked what he's done. They've just been taught that by the mainstream media. I mean, you hear it now. It's anybody who's not on X, anyone who's not on social media, just watches the mainstream, hates Trump. As far as they're concerned, he's Hitler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They and this is what they're being fed. And they're sitting there in front of these enormous widescreen TVs. You know, it's
You know, Michael, I've got to interrupt very quickly because I've just had a thought, right? We've had, the president of the EU, Ursula, that disgusting lady who should be on Hunger Games. We've had, Peter Hotez, who call all the unvaccinated a killing force. We've had Hillary Clinton. We've had everyone, the Australian government, all the governments around the world saying that, social media is a danger to everybody because it spreads misinformation, disinformation, all this bullshit. You know what? We're posting online is things like this. And so, it really goes to show you now that they're doubling down. They're not even doubling down. Can we put a quadruple down? Because
what? Yeah. See that what? Yeah, go on. Finish. I just got something to say.
no,
But finish.
you go.
What
It's
it
nuts.
is they know they can't take it. If they just came in and said, "Nope, you're not got free speech anymore," we're going to, then they can't get away with that. The people would arc up. What they're trying to do by hitting Charlie Kirk's bad, this is bad. What they're trying to do by constantly pounding you with that big screen TV and all their stupid shows is they want you to hand over free speech. Yeah, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Take it. It keeps getting. I don't know what to say. I could offend this, but I don't. Here, take free speech away from me. Free speech is the only way. The greatest and last weapon we have against tyranny, and that's why they want you to hand it over. That's
Yep.
it. And they want
Yep.
the Australian public to go, yeah, please take it. Like we took our guns. Oh yeah, Howard, you're right. Here, have my guns. Suddenly, we're just a load of sitting ducks. And now they want freedom of speech. And we did it with freedom of choice. I remember Dan Andrews going, we're going to have to curtail. I can't do his voice. We're going to have to curtail some of your freedoms until we fix this. And people going, yeah, please take my freedoms. Take it. Just keep me safe from this flu, Yeah, and they did it. Pathetic. At some point, you've got to realize it's like the Cow of the County song. At some point, we've got to reach the verse where you stand up and go, nah, enough. There has to be something in this planet that is worth more than your mortgage. There has to be,
This is nuts. Not only have parents given over their responsibility, we know, for their healthcare because, everybody gets their kids jabbed, but also for, people, you know what they've done to people? They've made them think that they're so unable to control their own thoughts and what comes out of their own mouth that they've got to hand over their free speech because you need to control me because I don't know what I'm going to say and it might be damaging and alarming and offensive. So you've got to stop me from saying it. That's what they're causing people.
I don't know what my Garbo's pronouns are. I don't know. I just want him to collect my bin. What if I offend him? What if I call him a hey, her, and he's a zigzag, whatever? Anyway, let's just see how the truck's going.
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting out. Oh, this is good. They've got it sorted now. Yep. Oops, they've hit the sewer.
Oh, is that shit? Is that the shit pipe?
I have no idea what happens now. I got to this and I thought, I'm going to enjoy this with everybody. So they've hit the shit. This is actually a U-Haul metaphor of Australia in the last 5 years. This is us. This is us before digital ID. We're in this position now, and now we're going to bring in digital ID. Look, the water's going. This is going. We'll come back. I'm sure they'll be fine. And
Yep.
and so this.
Brilliant.
And if you have any complaints about watching shit pour on the top of a truck, please take it up with your Lord and Protector, E. Karen, and she will promptly get in touch with us, which I'm expecting anytime soon now. So,
I think digital protest, I think, will cause a little bit of a stir.
That's
And
let's set our expectations low. You know what I mean? Their expectations low. We just want to cause a stir and hopefully a conversation and give 40 hours of great fun entertainment that people watch just because they're going, this is crazy. You don't have no idea what these guys are going to do next. So, and then through that humor is like the jam wrapped around those pills. You remember your mum would give you pills as a kid? She'd wrap it up in jam, and inside there's, Bex or whatever, whatever it was. And that's it is. So in the message inside is no to digital ID, but we wrap it up in the jam of good old Aussie humor. And everyone's invited. Everyone's invited. Who's putting up this? Donna Pike. What is Donna Pike? So she wants a petition of no confidence. Yeah, petitions. Yeah, I'm not sure petitions work anymore, to be honest. Because I don't think we have a government that's following any rules anymore. They do what the hell they want to do.
just ignored one of the biggest ones they had.
3 million almost. 3 million in a few days. Ignore it. They had 3 million marching. Ignored them. And then because those 3 million didn't make the ABC, you talk to these people, they go, what are you talking about? It was just a little protest, biggest protest. I mean, it's literally a civil war, If that was an invading army, London would have fallen. And here we are. So, and I think this should be in league with the marches. There is a big march, I think, coming up on the 11th, I think. I know digital ID somewhere. I don't know if it'll be in this city or somewhere.
Yes. I think my place are having
my producer here, my gorgeous producer here. Just show her here. There she is. So December 11th is, you don't shop at Coles, you don't shop at Woolies, you don't use digital payments, use cash only. Okay, so that's December 11th, only cash. I mean, for most of us, that's like, well, we're there. So it's Have you noticed the other thing that they do? And I think this is the saddest thing, is the one person they put on the till for scanning, I don't think they're allowed to go fast. You notice them? They're always like...
And they can't pack a bag at the same time.
Beep. And it's just... I think they do that on purpose. I think if they went the speed that they used to go, remember when it was just humans and they'd race us through, they'd be sacked. Because that's what we used to do. But it used to be, you'd think nothing of it because you thought those guys were going to be around forever. So that's it. We've saved it on. It's all over our social media. Yeah. So Australian Mass Non-Compliance Day, Tuesday, 11th of November. We'll post that more for what's going on. We're totally behind that. But it used to be social. You'd be in the line. You'd be, which line's going to go faster? And no matter what line you got, you could have one person with 3 items, and you could have a line of 10 people, and you get behind the one person with 3 items and price check anything. And then, you'd be there forever as this line just went through. You could never pick it. But it was fun. It was humans. It was humans interacting. That's a lovely thing. We are a human city for humans, not robots. That's you get a robot that's fine. And the greatest comedy, I saw this great comedy sketch recently, and he said every robot will be a sex robot. And do you know why? Because there's men on the planet. Men will be sitting there going, you know what?
Oh yeah.
If I've got a bucket, and I think, and so he's right, but we don't. It might be having something that they enhance our lives, but it's just humans. This is a human planet.
Yeah.
And they just take it for granted. They go to the university and they're going, all your jobs will be gone. Why? Why are we just accepting that?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have to go, your jobs are for efficiency? Efficiency for who? For who? Efficiency for humans? But we're already here.
Yeah.
It's this is what I think is the conversations we've got to have. And maybe there's some jobs that people don't want to do, but that's why, like, even say with I made a post that got me in a bit of skit because I said I'm not going to any rally organized by Nazis. Just not going to do it. Not Nazi. And The first one we went to, we didn't know until we got there. We thought, okay, they did it, and they did a good march, but I just don't want to. It's not my thing. But there's, where was I going with that? There's willing to fight in any other way with it, but it's time to really ask, where are we going? Why are we going there? Why are we shooting down this at breakneck speed and making ourselves redundant? You know what I mean? It just.
Well, this
I
is
mean,
this is
even
the
the
other thing
dodos
about
probably
the
bit somebody, or at least they fought back a bit. But we just seem to be making it so easy.
Mhm,
It's that's what I literally can't understand why people feel so utterly powerless and helpless in the
mhm,
face of such huge change, and not actually going, okay, yeah, you want to go there, you want to get a robot in my house, okay, but you know, where do we fit in? Where does my child fit in? And not being able to say all the jobs are gone, but you can still do this job, which is, uh, sweeping out at a data center, sweeping the floor at a data center. But maybe this child, like your little human, maybe they have goals and dreams. Why are we
mm,
creating a world where they can no longer achieve their goals and dreams?
mhm,
I just don't see the only people that seems to be. It's like a perfect example is Spotify. Now,
mhm,
Spotify, to all you musos out there, I'm not a musician. I'm AI. I use AI to put music to my poetry. The album is selling. People really love the album. I'm making more money from selling songs in the album than you do from Spotify. And I might not be getting the likes, but take your likes to your landlord and see, hey, look, I don't have any money this week, but I got 1,000 likes on Spotify. How much rent does that pay me? Nothing. You're just feeding this beast of
mhm.
Spotify, hoping that you'll get likes, which you feel will justify your existence, but they won't because you realize it's hollow. While the people who run Spotify and the CEO has already told all his employees if they can't do something Spotify AI can't do, if they can't do something AI can't do, they're gone. So he's going to place all his staff with AI, and they're multi-billionaires living in mansions and stuff. They're the people making money off your music. And you're just
Mm.
putting your music up there, hoping someone will hear it and like it, looking for validation. In actual fact, it's not the way.
Their
There's other
systems
ways to do it.
failed. Yeah, their systems failed, Michael.
Yeah,
They in the grand scheme of
failing us,
things, yeah.
not failing the rich. It's not failing the elite. It's
Well,
failing us.
no, I don't think so. I'm watching this, they unleashed or they let free the internet onto the general public, and I remember that when that happened, and I'm sure you do as well. And I always said that they would eventually take it away from us because we're able to not only connect, make communities, but also, more importantly, we're able to inform ourselves, which is incredibly dangerous to these nefarious, awful creatures. And so, they've got to rein it back, right? So that's what they're trying to do right now. They're trying to rein back the access and the information, and ultimately, whether or not the internet is taken away from the general public completely or not, I don't know. But ultimately, it means that, and we're literally witnessing it now, that they did not anticipate the power of the connection. Yes, it's a technology that I think they sat around in their wanky think tanks, 50 years ago and thought, okay, well we can do this, get what we need, surveil the population, get the information that we need, get them onto the, digital ID, blockchain, all this sort of stuff, and then we can rein it back. But all of their wanky think tank fucking outcome situations, they didn't they never include the 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 spirit of the human. They just think they can turn us on and turn us off at will. And it's not that bloody easy. And I think right now we're actually witnessing how how pathetic and how their think tanks and their groups and their institutes and their organisations continue to underestimate the human race and how powerful humanity is. And I think we're currently witnessing that. They want to rein it back. They think they can just switch it off and make us do what they say.
That's right.
So I think we're really witnessing something really significant, and
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
finding a little
test.
bit of joy in it, actually.
It's a test. What do you want to do? You want to be a slave? You want to be a human being? Let's see how the truck boys are doing. This is Australia now coming into digital ID. They've hit the sewer plant, but luckily the poo got washed off because they also hit the sprinklers. So now they're sort of thinking what they're going to do. No, that's not good. This is Australia now. A U-Haul truck.
You
There's
know
a
what's
metaphor for
missing from the
Australia.
side of the truck there, Michael? It's a florist fan sticker. You know, instead of ASIO, U-Haul should be a
That's
florist
Wayne.
fan.
Wayne,
Yeah.
I would think Wayne is I think he's the best podcaster in Australia. Why he's driving trucks,
amazing.
I just think he's an utter natural. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. God! Oh my God! Is that Julie driving that truck, Michael? Is that
Yeah, see
Julie?
that is I don't know, Julie. Is that you driving the truck, Julie? Really? Is it? There's no, that's them. That's them delivering her furniture from America. There's so yeah, so this is it. Anyway, so what we're going to do, we don't know if it's going to work. Robin and I did the 24-hour marathon thing, and that was a lot of fun. And this is also going to be a lot of fun. But the real thing is getting people, at least if anything else, to talk. Do you even want digital ID? Do you just been pushed on this with all those bullshit things about? Have you seen the way she talks to you? That I can't even watch that thing she put out where she talks. I can't watch it. I can't. Something inside me curdles up. You know, you watched it. I couldn't bring myself to watch it. And that's what they're doing. This really is, they're coming after you. And the reason they'll get away with it, not to everyone here, of course, in our mob, but the reason they'll get away with it is the apathy of the people. The real enemy of our time is the apathy of cowards. And I saw that priest in Sydney, the one that got stabbed. That's what he said. He said, you know what men don't get into heaven? Cowards. He said, cowards don't get into heaven. And so this is it. So it's not about rewards. It's not about this, but this is it. This is, you are here in this time in history. You are not powerless. You are powerless through choice. They've given you that option and you've taken it. But you actually are a historic figure. The seeds of greatness are within you. You could join the army of light, which is what Robin and I are a part of. And what I mean by that is all over the world, there's a darkness coming in. And anyone who stands up and does anything at all joins the army of light. It's got no generals. It's got no divisions. It's just people trying to figure out how to save humanity from humanity. The yin from the yang, or the yang from the yin, whichever way it is. I can't ever remember which is the dark one, Kelly. Yang. So it's yin trying to save yin from. Anyway, forget that I went that far with the metaphor. It's just it's humans trying to save us from humans. This is where we're at. Yeah.
I'm going to get a special Julie shirt, I think, Michael.
This one.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. Let's
nice.
Julie hates this show. Let's send her an invite. Why don't you come on? Tell us why we need you to govern us. You who we didn't elect. You who we never met before. You know?
Well, I think it's governance harder, Michael.
Version of the Love Boat. You know, why don't you? What's that?
I think it's governors harder because Cafe Lockdown's already had the 3,649-day ban. She's already governing us.
Yeah. 10-year ban, bitch. Why aren't we streaming to Facebook? 10-year friggin' ban. 100. So we had 106,000 followers. Now 2 years before they took our page away, almost 2.5 years, they took our follow button and they took our like button. You couldn't follow or like us. So if they'd left that, we would have been over 200,000 people easy, you know, and they just took it away because we dared to question. We didn't say we had the facts. We just dared to question. And when you live in a world of lies, questions are everywhere. They're just littered in the silence beneath our feet. They're everywhere. And we dare to lift them up and go, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. And that's why we're in trouble, because you're not allowed to question. That's it. Well, we're going to do 40 hours of 40 hours of questioning while taking the piss. Maybe we should have a award to see if anyone can sit through the whole thing without dying of sleep deprivation.
Oh God, I think you might be what more worried about bed sores than or bum sores than sleep deprivation.
That's true. That's true. This place is hell. Well, if it is, someone used heaven to paint it, because it's pretty out there, Michael. But it's. I just think this is a test. This is a test to actually get us back to, you know, defending our place in existence. We have a right to be here. We have a right to be empowered. We have a right to certain freedoms that are not given or taken away by the government. They're ours, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, girl, I love you. I've loved you ever since I met you. This is and Rob and I met in Perth, and I'd heard about her. Someone said, oh, you know, there's a girl here, the podcast called Courage is a Cure. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And I was hoping to meet her, and then I did. And it was just great, you know. It was just, I mean, I had to sue her, got $1 million out of it. But apart from that, you know.
Hilarious.
How about we do the 40-hour fast alongside the 40-hour? Man, Tina, you're a hard task, man. Is to do the 40-hour fast and 40 hours worth of talking.
God.
Not a bad idea, Tina. But who are we going to send the money to? Who's starving at the moment? We don't hear of famines anymore. Australians, yeah, it's us.
Well, there's a famine for nutritional food.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll be getting. This is just the initial thing. This is what we're doing in the next few weeks. It's going to be ramping up. We're going to get a great poster together. We're going to get more names to be added as we reach out, and we'll start doing it. We'll start putting it all together, and hopefully you can join us. Hopefully, great fun. I want everyone to know that it's the idea of this incredible woman. Really, g'day Willow. It's of this incredible woman, and we're going to do this, and we're going to have some fun. Even if it fails, it'll be worth. Even if we get kicked off, it'll be a worthy way to go out. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, that's right. Fasting for the truth. Yeah. Anyway, so you take us out, Robin. Anything you want to say before we go? Thanks for coming on, by the way. Love being on with you.
Thank you for having me, and I cannot wait for Florence and Kelly and Michael to come to Perth.
Yeah, only 4,000 kilometers between us and you.
Cannot wait. But just make sure no barley sugar for you either, Drop Bear. Make sure you all stay relentless. And as I said about the codes and standards, we are already heavily shadow banned. So send things privately to people, because even on the algorithm, when you just share, just do things like that. And comments, let's just forget about Facebook. Get your pen pals together, get your community together, go out and have coffee and make friends with your neighbors, all those things.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm looking forward to it, Michael. And
yeah, me too. Oh, there's that picture. So here, I got a picture here. I just want to bring this up, and I want to bring, this is just 2 pictures up. Let me see. Is that going up? Where is it? Yep.
Hi,
that's
Betty.
up. And another picture here. Batty's really struggling with his back. So this is Robin and I at the last one. That's where we got an Airbnb house, and this is where we did the 24 hours from. One lesson: don't let Robin go to sleep, hoping that she'll wake up.
I went to have a kip And 4 hours later, I get up and Michael's at the door. Oh, we got it now. Why didn't anyone wake me up? And poor Kelly, Lord bless her, she couldn't bear to wake me up. And I'm like,
And Drop Bear, here he is here. No, Drop Bear. Me and Drop Bear. This was taken by another photographer. This is my favorite picture of all time from the last 5 years. That was this. This is the Free Huck Army
wow.
meeting up. But I just love that picture. I just love that picture. We had so much against us then. We had no idea where we were going. I have no idea what this pink thing is. But there was but that was just yeah, they're amazing times, and we're still fighting. And so we're going out with a man called Charlie. This is probably the last time we play it, but this is for all the people that gave Charlie the thing, because Charlie, the death of Charlie has changed my life. I actually do now try to debate people like Charlie would. Not that I have his knowledge, but I just try to stay calm. And so I'm actually trying to be better, thanks to the lessons from a man literally half my age. And so I was, and when I wrote this, I tell you, Kelly was there. I was in tears. It's just absolutely in tears. So it's a lovely thing to offer. And Robin, well, let's go shake up the establishment. Let's go shake. Or in other words, Karen, here we come. This is for a man called Charlie. Good night.
It was raining last night. I could hear it dancing on the roof. I fell asleep listening to the beauty of rain. But when I woke, you were gone. Someone had used their hate to take you away. And so the rain of last night is now raining inside of me. I think the angels just might be standing up to welcome you home, as we remain here fighting in the trench that just grew colder. But despite the shot, I know you're not dead. Instead, you're leaving light could become our new dawn. I wonder if when your mother first held you, as all the love you brought was a dawn in her eyes, did if she ever sensed then that a warrior was here, with a tongue for a sword and the armor of truth? For in a darkening world that's being turned upside down, you were a single man that rose until we could see you from here. How many roads must a man walk down before we call him a man? Well, I'm on your road, to try and emulate you by constructing a sign that reads Charlie Kirk, a man passed this way. On his journey to the son who he knew, if we faithfully followed, would one day lead us home.